have to talk. I have a lot to say about this. Yu Yu Hakusho, the live action. This is your one chance to kind of walk away and go watch it. It's only 5 episodes, so go check it out and then come back here so we can discuss it. If you don't care, stay. It's just a quick spoiler warning, which is weird because we're talking about a spoiler from a series that came out in the 80s. Yu Yu Hakusho live action. Before we start, let me know your thoughts. And also, leave a like on this video if you are, interested in seeing more content like this. And by the way, with the algorithm being as it is, I wouldn't mind if you hit that thumbs up on this, because man, I'm getting my ass beat. Yu Yu Hakusho. Every time a live action is made, we always cringe as anime fan because we know there's about to be changes, and at worst, it's coming the same level as Dragon Ball Evolution, which we do not want to happen ever again. And I feel like we've gotten to the point where we'll never see that again. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Netflix has been doing live actions for a while. And here's the thing, live action does not always mean the series is gonna be bad. There's a lot of good ones that exist. For example, Death Note, the Japanese one. Relax. The Death Note Japanese live action, fantastic. It's 3 movies. You got the beginning, the end, and then the what if scenario that happens afterwards. I'm not gonna reveal it. I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. The Rurouni Kenshin series, also fantastic. One Piece live action just changed the game. It was so good. You wanna know why? Because Oda was involved. It's weird what happens when you have the creator of the series and you're like, don't do that. Now, obviously, we know that Togashi came evolved. He's had a lot of health issues. They were very, very public for pretty much the last many, many years. And that's why hiatus is a thing. He's got to take his breaks, and I completely get it. But this series is done. And this is what I don't get about live actions. You have the book. You have the Bible. You have literally the blueprint right there every single time. Why does their director go, nah, we don't need this? Like, bro, don't do that. We don't throw Yu Yu Hakusho in this house. This is a classic. This is literally my favorite anime of all time. All right, so Rhyme, what did you think about the live action? It was actually very good, but it's not Yu Yu Hakusho, if that makes sense. What does that even mean, Rhyme? Is it good or is it bad? Which one is it? It was very good, but the problem is they changed everything. They basically took 70 episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho and squeezed it into their own story that came out into 5 episodes on Netflix. It looked very good. Because here's the thing, one of the scary things when you try to basically make a live adaptation of any anime, is it's gonna look corny. Even Ki Blast just didn't look good. You guys remember the Ki Blast in Dragon Ball Evolution? Yeah. What did he do? He like waved his hands at the lockers and opened. I don't even remember that movie that much, but it just did not look good. Somehow, and granted, technology has evolved, all the effects in this look very good. The fights are fantastic. They're very well choreographed. The casting is A1. I know some people are, questioning the Kuwabara one, but I think Kuwabara looks great for what he should look like in a live action. I think they nailed it. On top of that, the actor killed it. He sold me on Kuwabara. Like, that is Kuwabara right there. I love it. They did everything great except the story. Why are you changing stuff when you don't have to change stuff? But at the same time, it looked good. It worked. It's so weird. I'm so split because I watched all 5 episodes and I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I'm like, yo, this is great. This is amazing. I can't believe I'm watching this. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, the Yu Yu Hakusho fan kept coming out and being like, why did they do that? Why did they do that? Why did they change everything? For starters, let's talk about a couple key changes. I'm not going to talk about everything here because I'd rather you experience it yourself and then come back here and let me know your thoughts. But just basically, I'm going to talk about a couple things that I didn't like. Again, if you're doing 5 episodes, you have to cut out a lot. But they cut out too much. Kuwabara and Yusuke became really good friends when Yusuke was basically dead, because Yusuke was able to follow Kuwabara around and realize that he's a great guy. And, the last time they experienced an interaction was they were fighting. But once Yusuke was dead and saw Kuwabara and then came back to life, he kind of developed a friendship, relationship type of thing. Not like us men, we walk down the street, we see someone, we give them the heads up, the nod, and then by a week later, we're like best friends. Yeah, that, except for they skipped all that in this. Literally, Yusuke comes back and then, yo, you want to get some ramen? Bet. Like, where's the build-up? But again, I'll excuse it because it's 5 episodes long. It doesn't have to make sense. But then you remember they didn't have Pooh in here. Pooh was a little flying bird thing. It was birthed from Yusuke's egg, little spirit egg that he had to come back to life. They completely took that out. Genkai got shafted. If you're a fan of Genkai, I'm sorry, bro. Genkai in this he spent 20 days with Genkai. It was him and Kuwabara, by the way, both training under Genkai. And then that's it. In the series, they spent a lot more time together because, again, more time to do the actual storytelling. But in here, they literally squeezed everything into one. So, again, did you like it? Did you not like it? I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fire. I just don't like how they combine all the elements in their own little story, and it's still somehow felt rushed. Maybe it was like 8 episodes, 10 episodes, doing all that, it could work, but they squeezed way too much into little episodes, and that's the part that I keep thinking about where I'm like, I don't really like this. But it looks so cool, man. It looks so cool. So for starters, basically, let me explain the premise of the live action before we get too deep in this video. Essentially, Yusuke dies because the Makai insects pop out and they infect the guy in the truck. Because Sakio's already trying to open up the portal to Demon World. He's already like working on it. And by the time Yusuke comes back, he's being told like, hey, you gotta stop this, yada yada yada. We need you to do it. And essentially, that leads to the Dark Tournament by episode 3. I'm not even kidding. They find out that this is all happening. They're trying to go stop Sakio and them. And the reason why they're also involved is because Yusuke trains with Genkai, and Togoro's like, wow, that guy could be my rival. So he's like, hey, I want to fight him. Bring him over here. So they kidnap Keiko while pretending to be Hiei and got him to come to Hanging Neck Island, which is where the Dark Tournament, takes place. Remember how in the Terukane arc, they had like little gambling bets where it's like, hey, will the intruders win or will the demons win? And that was like a whole setup that was like rigged to basically make Sakio richer. Yeah, they were doing that, but in the form of the Dark Tournament. They were like, hey, you know what? While we're here, let's get Team Toguro together to fight the Team Invaders, which in this case was Yusuke, Kuwabara, Hiei, and Kurama. And then, you know, we can make it a bet. And he even mentions how he was supposed to lose. Toguro was supposed to just throw just so Sakio can win. But then Toguro saw how powerful Yusuke was and then went full power and they did a whole fight and everything. It's like, I'm like, why are they doing this? But it looks so cool. Bro, I never imagined being able to see the live action version of the Dragon of Darkness Flame and it looked good. The second I saw Hiei bring out his bandages against Bui, I was like, oh, this is about to be ass. It looks so good. And I think that's why I'm so distraught. It's like the series looks so good if you just take all the memories of this and throw it out your head. Like they did a good job with the live action for a 5-episode series, but then you remember the actual story, you're just like, but why? So it's like, that's why I'm like in this roller coaster of emotion where I'm like, I loved it, but I hated it. I loved it, but I hated it. What do I want? Do I want a season 2? Absolutely. If they do season 2, by the way, and they do just the Chapter Black tournament, or not the tournament, but the Chapter Black arc, I think they could do a great job. Just the issue is they try to do way too much in 5 episodes. Using all that story into one, 5 episodes of that was just not a good idea. You know, like I said, you took out a lot of important factors. When Genkai gave him the orb, remember how he went through the whole ordeal? He's in pain, and Pooh saved him. You wanna know how it happened? Hey, I got this orb. You want this? Sure. Cool, thanks. See you next time. That's literally what happened. And because they're with Genkai for like 20 days, we didn't even see like the part of him mourning her death. He didn't even know. It was Elder Toguro who was like, yeah, we killed her. Or, you know, my brother killed her. And it's like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Yusuke heard that news, was like, yeah, damn, that's crazy. That's it. Kuwabara was like, oh no, our master, but that's about it. But again, they had no time to bond. There was no reason for him to be like angry or anything. It wasn't until Toguro started walking towards Keiko to kill her, where Yusuke is like, all right, bet, I'm gonna throw hands. And then Kuwabara, being the guy that he is, jumps up, basically gets sacrificed. He didn't die, apparently, but Toguro was trying to kill him. That's when, you know, we see the moment that we saw in the Dark Tournament where Yusuke just beat the shit out of Toguro and called it a day. And even that looked very good, by the way. Although I will admit, I kind of wish that he would have held the orb better. When he fired the spirit gun, you know how like Toguro was like holding the ball for a while and like trying to like destroy it? All that happens like 2 seconds in this. He's like, he fires it. Good fight, Yusuke. You're a great rival. And then he dies. Now, I'm not even kidding. That's exactly what happened. We see Kurama fight against Karasu, and that was hype. And then it's like the whole time, Karasu's like, you gotta transform if you're gonna fight me. You gotta fight me in your demon form. And Kurama goes, bet. He transforms, he starts whooping Karasu's ass, and then all of a sudden, he's like, oh crap, I can't hold his form anymore for no reason at all. Let me go back, and then he almost, you know, gets beat. But then he beats Karasu by doing the death plane tactic. So what they actually did here is to combine the very first tournament fight in the Dark Tournament with the last one. Because even, you know, remember how it was Hiei who brought out the Dragon of Darkness Flame against Zero? He did that exact same thing against Bui and killed him. Well, he beat him. He's like, kill me. No, I won't. Like, that same thing happened. And the same thing happened with when that Phantom, I forgot his name, when he tried to basically be like, hey, if you attack me, we'll kill your mother with this switch. The same thing happened. It's like, yeah, Karasu, in the beginning of this fight, I actually planted the death seed inside you, and now you die! And then he beats him the same way. So like, they combined the first fight with the last fight, with the exception, of course, of Kuwabara doing anything. Kuwabara like learns the spirit sword, and then he doesn't use it again until later, briefly, and then he doesn't know how to bring it back out again, which is kind of funny. It's like, what was the point? It's so weird because, again, I had a good time watching it, and I want a second season. And I'm really hoping that if we do see a second season, they only focus on Chapter Black. If you do just one arc, even if it's 5 episodes, I'm sure you can do something with it. The main issue with this is they combine the Makai insect aspect, the coming back to life part, the Terukane arc, the Dark Tournament, all that into one. All that into, bro, like, Yusuke, in this timeline, Yusuke, like, 4 days ago, well, I guess 24 days ago, because he trains for 20 days, like, 24 days ago, was just some regular-ass dude who, he had hands, that's it. And then by the end of the month, he had just beaten one of the strongest demons of all time. Where's the arc? Where's the training? How did he get there? But it looked good. That's the thing, it looked good. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, like I said, hit the thumbs up, especially with how the algorithm has been in the last couple weeks. But I'm hoping that they do a season 2 and they only focus on just one thing. Maybe they can get Togashi involved. I don't really know. At least somebody that, you know, has seen the series, because the Chapter Black arc is so good. And if they only focus on that, there's really not much they can change. You can tell that the only reason why they had so many changes is because it's like they feared there won't be a season 2 and they wanted to go all out. And they did. They did. But I still think it would have been better if they did, like, you know, the beginning of Yu Yu Hakusho all the way until like the Saint Beast. You could have done that as an arc. And then you could have done come back season 2. You could have done the Tarukane stuff, you know, with Toguro. Imagine at the end of the Tarukane arc on season 2, they showed Toguro come back and invite Yusuke to the tournament. So we know that that's coming out next season. And then you go into Dark Tournament. And then you go into Chapter Black and then the end. You could have done so much. Why does Netflix not plan for these future series? Unless they, of course, they just expect to just be canceled. But the thing is, then they get canceled because they try to squeeze everything all into one. And the story doesn't make sense. And it upsets the fans. It's this weird like loop that you're stuck in. I don't know. But it looked good. It looks so good. It sounds so weird because you probably made it to this video and you're like, but Rhyme, did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Which one is it? I can't tell yet. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I hate all the changes, but I love how good it looked. I love how it actually worked, you know? And I imagine myself to be able to see Yu Yu Hakusho live, and it worked. It's just, I think the only thing I don't like is the changes. Had they even like kept some things, honestly, if they would have done like 10 episodes instead of 5, they probably could have squeezed more important details in. You know, you could have gone into the whole, because here's the thing, here's another thing. The reason why he went to train with Genkai in the live action is because he fought Hiei once, he lost, and he goes, I gotta go train. And the only reason why Hiei, Kurama, and, well, Hiei and Kurama really, Goki just wanted to basically eat souls. The only reason why Hiei and Kurama stole the artifact is because Kurama, as you know in the anime and the manga, he wanted to help his mom. The reason why he stole the blade, Hiei, was because he wanted to make the Jagan Eye, and he does that. He cuts himself and goes, all right, I'm cool, I'm done. There was no crime involved. By the way, that's not how he gets a Jagan. And also, he never uses it again the rest of the series. I don't even think he took it off when he did the Dragon of Darkest Flame. I might not be remembering correctly, but he cuts himself and goes, I got the Jagan now. I can go find my sister, and then that's it. And by the way, he couldn't even find her with it. Isn't the Jagan supposed to be... The reason why he couldn't find her in the manga and anime, if I remember correctly, was because they had all those like talismans that kept her basically hidden. So that's why he couldn't see. But they didn't have that this time. So it's like he got the Jagan by carving it inside his head and then couldn't even use it. So it's like, what is happening? Why are you doing this? But yeah, he leaves for 20 days to train with Genkai because he couldn't fight Hiei. But instead of fighting Hiei at the end of that tournament, he fights Toguro. I mean, at least he had the spirit ore from Genkai to give him the power boost, but it still didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense at all. But it looked good though. But ending this, all you're gonna get is, it looked good though. I'm ending the video right here. Let me know your thoughts on this live action. Do you want to see more? And I guess we can have a discussion down below, because I saw mixed reactions. It's funny, when this came out, I was like, oh, people are gonna hate it. The very first thing I remember seeing on Twitter is people loved it. I'm like, oh, this gotta be fired then. And I think we're all kind of basically saying the same thing, where it looked good for the story that they gave us in 5 episodes. It made sense on their part. And as long as you don't remember what actually happened and you want that to happen, you're like, okay, it's not that bad. But then you remember stuff that's missing, like how Pooh's not in it. The relation between Yusuke and Genkai is not there. They cut out the part of him getting the orb and going through the pain. They cut out everything. They made it to one quick arc. Bro was fighting a little Makai insect in the beginning, and by the end of episode 5, he's fighting Toguro. We saw that, whereas Yusuke could barely fire one spirit gun for the first like season of the series. So it's like, you see what I'm talking about? That's the only thing I guess I can complain about in this. But I do want a season 2, and I hope that if they do season 2, they only do Chapter Black. Focus on that, because again, they got the visuals, they got the cast, they got everything else. Just do that, and you're good to go. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hopefully we can make another discussion about this in a couple years when if they do season 2. And hopefully Netflix really learns from One Piece live action and they really like actually give us what we want as fans of the series. Obviously it's not always going to be the same to a T, but like you can't change important details. I think that's the biggest problem, is when they change important details, you're just like, what is happening right now? This is not my show. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts down below. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next upload.